thing to ask is what makes a thing wrong? Because for me, I don't feel that McDonald's is wrong. And it's not wrong for me. It's not a sin. For somebody else who only eats at McDonald's, that's a sin. And somebody might view it as a sin, so I want to be careful of that person's conscience. But you have to ask yourself, am I sinning when I do these things? Personal legalisms are really important for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you say, like, this thing that I am doing, it might not even be wrong, but it's causing me to sin, or I'm sinning with this thing. Yeah, so there you go. That's my, that help make it fit?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely cleared it up.
So, but like, imagine we had tarot cards in church and we were just calling them prayer cards.
So how
And
can
we
we,
arrange them in a certain way to tell our fortune because that's the way God does it.
how can we evangelize people?
What?
Yeah, how do
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Okay, so since some of those things have permeated the Christian church,
You need
how
to-
do you
How do you confront the Christian church
yeah,
first?
how do you evangelize to Christians who are
Well, there you go. You have,
unwittingly participating in the occult?
I think very gently and carefully because, or strictly, but you have to weigh out what could happen by confronting. First of all, is it worth confronting? Is it something that's really important? And if it is, yeah. And how would you go about confronting that gently? But maybe you don't need to be wavering on it. Because the thing is that's what we all do. We all head down a direction and tell. You know, everybody likes to not research things for themselves. They like somebody to tell them what to do. A good portion of people do. And there are bad people that manipulate that system and lead people the wrong direction. But they're coming out of the Catholic Church. That's what happened. That's how we ended up with the Protestant Reformation. As we said, is this biblical? Because I don't find all this inside of Scripture. And this doesn't weigh up with this. So there must be something wrong. So yes, it's a great thing to do inside of the church. And ultimately outside of the church too. There's some things, how you would reach the people in the occult is to, by sharing with them rationality. Is it rational? And how do you know those things? That's the question I ask. How do you know those things? Because they've had experiences. What's the value of your experiences? And to not be hardcore, especially with people in the occult, because that's how they view Christians rather than people that listen. You listen a lot. You spend a lot of time listening. You spend a lot of time just talking about things. Talk about your experiences. Oh, that's how these I really believe this because I believe it. As Christians, we don't need to be dogmatic. If it's actually true, that's what we got. But they don't have a rational basis for what they believe, really. And some of it's irrational and delving into mystery, delving into the fact that I'm unknowing things, so that I can have universal experiences, so that the spiritual world can reveal itself to me. But that could be anything. That could really leave yourself open to any kind of flow. So it doesn't really always agree with what's actually here. So, I don't know, is that good enough?
Yep.
Synopsis? I don't know. But I talk to, they're really difficult people to share the gospel with in like Wicca and the occult because they believe in several truths and nobody has the stake on truth. How do you talk to people about Jesus like that? Because you're avoiding what reality is. Atheism. So atheists. I put the guillotine up here in communism because atheists in the modern day love to renounce that atheism is an escape from religiosity and wars. But it created the communist revolution. Communist revolution and communism is a direct result of abandoning the biblical views for society and imposing atheist views for society. And those are things that, and the French Revolution, those are things that were a baby of atheism. It came out of atheism. So there have actually been more deaths caused by atheism than all other religions combined as a belief system. Atheism, you have to keep in mind that atheism is a belief system. It might be a lesser belief system because they don't believe in a God. They have little faith, but it's a belief system. So, when you remove the idea of there being God that created the world, you remove the idea of absolutes and absolute morality. when you adopt the occult too, you remove the idea of absolutes because you can't know, right? So on both of those, we have a kind of a foundation for society with no basis of being actually able to know anything. And especially on a moral principle, there's no difference between right and wrong. There can't be. If I haven't been designed, then whatever I do is right. But they'll give you this crazy idea and concept that is in atheism. You have to borrow it from Christianity in order to make atheism survive. And that's the idea of ethics for the benefit of society. Because that's not, you can't come up. If you get rid of God, you won't find that. There is no compassion about God. Just think, like, if I am the basis of all life, then life is about me. There is no other alternative. And really, only people that benefit me are the people that I want in my life. So there's so much that atheism, that God has implanted inside the human soul that can't be explained once you remove the idea of there being an external God. And one of those is the idea that I know what right and wrong is, even though I don't know why I know what right and wrong is. I know that there must be right. I have compassion for my child. How's that going to benefit me? So you have this idea you have to create something else, like, well, it must be genetics. Genetics must have created that. So once you remove the idea of God, you're left with societies that can't explain anything. You can't explain the large sum of things. But you're left with moral individualization to a level that no other thing really can create. You become your own God. But society can't run with everybody being their own God, right? Thus you have communism. So what happens in communism is you have the same, or you could put capitalism in the same groupings, but remove God and you end up with an oppressive society. 100% of the time. You end up with a controlled, oppressive society which promises people individual freedom but takes their individual freedom away. 100% of the time. Capitalism, communism, atheism will always create that. That's what you end up with.
Socialism.
Yeah, but more than just socialism. You end up with society being controlled by an elite.
No, I'm saying socialism is an example.
Socialism is communism without its hardcore. Socialism, yes. But it wouldn't be strictly communism. Okay. So anyhow, atheism, obviously, there's so much that's constantly confronting atheism, but the theory of evolution is a basic pinpoint of where atheists would say, I believe in the theory of evolution, and that's why I'm an atheist, because God didn't create the world, because we've had years of evolution, and we've seen this as a process. But I would say that there's just as much in favor as there not being years of evolution. You're left with what's here and an ability to interpret what's here by your bias. So you look at something, and I could say that that's a straw. I could look at this tube of paper on down there, and I could say it's a straw. And since it's a large straw, there must have been giants that must have been around. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know where the straw came from. And that's where everybody's left. You don't know where everything that is comes from. But it tells you something. It tells you about what made it, just like a piece of art. Or that nothing made it, like a piece of art. But I would firmly, because of the amount of evidence against evolution, by my bias, I mean, that's my bias, and evolutionists are biased too, I firmly believe that evolution is not actually a thing. What you see is genetic replication and variation within species. But through the fossil record and all other things in life, you've never seen a jump from species to species. That's never happened. And in Origin of Species, there's a lot of argumentation inside of the book that we really call things species that were once one single thing that diverged from other things. But that's not what. There's never been real transitional forms found, and those forms that they found were not transitional forms. You know what I mean? You constantly see that coming up over and over in atheism. And it can't, but ultimately what you're seeing in this generation is that it can't answer any of the large questions. And so people are turning more and more from atheism to the occult or other religions, which give a better answer to the hard questions of life, which go beyond how we got here to what's the meaning of our existence. But if you go through and you research evolutionary theory, I mean, just like watch any documentary that they're making, what you'll hear over and over in documentaries is scientists say. And if you listen to Origin of Species, which I've been listening to quite a bit, you'll hear Darwin saying, experts say. But you won't have specifics. And you'll have certain specifics. There's a lot of skewed information because it's just as much the belief system as creationism. Just as much. And so you have two ways of viewing the world. Which one's the better way to view it? I would very much lean towards creationism because humanity shows something that is not from itself. It reflects something that is not from itself. And creation reflects something that is not from itself, but it's coming from an idea and a thought process, which we also reflect because we have ideas and thought processes. So, atheism. And how I reach atheism is the same way as, generally it's a smokescreen. So when you talk to atheists, they're generally giving you a smokescreen. They really believe in some kind of God, because it's really impossible to live in the world that exists without there being universal absolute. Because the world that exists has to be in line with those.
I find the atheists are generally just uninformed people who have not really taken the time to research it.
I find that I found that on one, and I found one on the other, where there are people that have researched it a lot, but also just as much as people are religious, they're religious about the in-between bits. So you have a fact, and then you have some in-between bits, and you have to fill those in-between bits that aren't fact with some kind of bias and thought, some kind of faith, and they have just as much of that as Christianity. But I would really firmly agree that it slants the other direction that we've been created, because so much of life says that everywhere, that we've been designed. But anyhow, it doesn't create a good society, hands down. You can't create a moral society which cares about individuals on the basis that individuals are a mechanism. It's impossible to do. And that's what you're left with in atheism, is that mankind is a machine that's replicating itself, and that's all that it is. So you can't create a good society on that, and that's why you have places like North Korea, which are just crazy, and ends up being emperor worship and a worship of the person, and that's it. Okay. And that's about it, and we'll talk about the next one, which is the largest and most important, false converts. We'll talk about that next week and some bit more. So that's false converts is really